Thanks, Ashish, for that. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, there is always, in my experience, the two toughest sessions that happen at any conclave. One is after lunch and one is just before dinner. Okay? Or before lunch, so to say. So, this is going to be a tough one, but that's why we decided to just keep it, you know, bring in some new energy, because it's 11th edition. You must have been here, you've been here yesterday, today, you've been here for earlier sessions, you must have been for other sessions, other conclaves. It's a lot of thought leaders coming in, experts coming in, politicians coming in, giving their point of view. We decided to flip the script a little. We decided to get some young students here. They're, as you heard, they're in the different years of electrical engineering, computer science, and MBA. What is their view? They've also been here, by the way, yesterday and today. So they will have a view on the sessions. I'm hoping they like the sessions, but let's see what they have to say. But the aim is that, to just keep it a little bit more lively, to find out what their expectations are. We've heard so many politicians, experts, policymakers, thought leaders talk about the future of India, but that's from their perspective. That's why we're coming to the other side of the looking glass, so to say. And we are here at the India Economic Conclave, and Vaibhav, you know, I want to start with you, because we, as a business news channel, as thought leaders who've been here also, who are here, we love the word GDP. We had the Honorable Finance Minister yesterday also talking about GDP and the importance of it, what are the challenges, opportunities to boost that. From your point of view, I'd like to know, what are some factors that you think should be included in that economical definition of GDP? How are you looking at this growth? What, according to you, should be included when we talk about the need for growth, societal well-being? What's your thoughts?
Well, Sumit, when we look at any country's index in terms of economy, GDP does plays a significant role in that. But I won't say it's the only parameter which determines, how successful a country is or its people is. Some key factors which we Gen Z, we youth, we see is the consumption or sustainable consumption. We are living, we are breathing air. Are we breathing right air? Right now we are in Delhi and the AQI is soaring up, so we are talking about these. Second thing is access to quality food products. Right now, we are standing here, we have a lot of FMCG brands coming up, and every day we are hearing news that, you know, FMCG brand is having adulteration in this one and that one. I'll give you a small example. I come from a village in Jharkhand. In my village, if you have to make 1 kg of ghee, you need at least 20 liters of milk. Now, considering the standard rates, in Mother Dairy, we have 60 rupees per liter of milk. So let's say 20, so it will be around 1200. So if you prepare ghee out of it, at least it will be 1200. Now, you are from a business background. Now, if you have to sell that ghee by adding all the costs and labor and everything, marketing, blah, blah, blah.
And this is 1200 is just the milk.
Yes.
Plus the factory, the processing, perfect, exactly, the bottle, the marketing cost.
Correct. That will be around 1400 to 1500.
Minimum.
Now, we are getting ghee in the market for 400 and 500 rupees. Okay, I understand. I'm from a technical background that there can be cost cutting and saving and mass production, blah, blah, blah. Can it go to 1/3 or 1/4 of the price? Is it real? Another factor we being is, right now we hear all of our giants from the tech industry calling out for 70 hours, 90 hours a week. Oh my God, that's really commendable. Yesterday Geeta ma'am was there and I asked her a question. Ma'am, youths, the labor force participation or contribution in India's growth is only 30%. Should it be more? She gave me a direct answer, yes. How can we expect as Gen Z that we want to contribute to India's growth if we have this kind of parameters? I could only recall a famous कव्वाली कि नाजो अंदाज से कहते हैं कि जीना होगा, जहर भी देते हैं तो कहते हैं पीना होगा, पीते हैं तो कहते हैं कि मरता क्यों नहीं, मरते हैं तो कहते हैं जीना होगा. So it's exactly a toxic culture which is actually promoting, it's not contributing to the growth any factor anywhere.
Right. So that's very valid points there, because yes, the quality of the air, the quality of the food, quality of air also has been addressed yesterday. Mr. Gadkari also spoke about that. Definitely we need to take those steps, and I'm with you on that totally, because I'm also from Bombay. I've come here and I can feel the air difference. Need of food, better food. again, but so it's great to see these are some points of importance, some points of concern. And yes, the work culture, we can't just be crazy work. I'm sure you enjoyed Mr. Wembu's talk also yesterday on that. But we have to talk a lot more on that, but I've got some more questions. We will keep coming back to these points. Vishnu, I want to come to you next. You know, India, we spoke about, Ashish also when introducing the panel spoke about the fact demographic dividend, we've tom-tommed about it for always. But also what's happening is there is a part of the population that is aging. That's normal life cycle. Now that population is going to be relying more and more on the youth in the aging world. What do you think can help unlock more of the youth's potential? What more can be done to match the demand from the workforce in this time without, like what Vaibhav said, without putting it into a toxic work culture or putting the unrealistic pressure of working so hard?
Before I start, I want to express my gratitude to Times Network for giving us the opportunity to express our opinion and thoughts here. So, coming to your question, I feel like if they are given the platform and the opportunities to express their talent, I think that is more than enough to tap into their potential. Like there is a quote by Swami Vivekananda. He says, "You have infinite potential in you. You can do anything and everything." So, you know, what happens right now is there are two main issues that I can think of. The first is that, you know, there is this communication gap that is happening. So imagine you're applying for a job in an online portal. So what happens is you are given a status. You are either accepted for further stages or you're rejected. So when you're rejected, what happens is, you know, you get this email that, unfortunately, your application has been blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Standard copy paste.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens is there is a missing feedback. Like, what about my application is missing? What is it that you find that is not applying to this job? So that concern needs to be matched. Now, there might be a question that pops like, you know, there are lakhs and crores of applicants. How am I going to do it? That is where AI comes into play. So if you look at this, AI can, like Sai sir was talking about, it can harness that potential of, you know, doing something humongous that you never imagined into one small bite-sized application. And you can just tune it in such a way that the hiring manager or the person responsible can put in the points like this is missing, and the candidate can know that, okay, the next time I apply, I would be able to understand that this is missing. So that sort of basic communication needs to be addressed. So that is what I feel.
And actually also where the hiring manager, who in a way is more experienced because they know what they're looking for in that role, should at least be able to tell you that, hey, X, Y, Z is the skill that you don't have. Why don't you try and upskill yourself? Because, I mean, that maybe you won't get a job back in that company, but at least that somewhere you're able to upskill yourself. Because let's be honest, today's age is about upskilling. You can't just have done a set of skills and just sit with that. You spoke about AI, Shreya, I'll come to you also on AI because, and like my earlier session with Sai, it can also be in a way a double-edged sword. I did talk to Sai about that also, that how do you make students use AI in a complementary fashion rather than not in a threatening fashion. Like you shouldn't be, because there is so much of talk about it being, you know, people losing jobs, etc., etc. I wanted to get your view. What is your opinion? Because we've heard leaders, experts talk about there, but your view from where you are sitting, is this a bubble? Do you fear AI, or are you seeing that yes, maybe AI can help you and your generation?
Well, now AI, as a graduate, I'm an undergraduate student of computer science engineer, I feel if in a daily basis, I use AI in different medium. But then, you know, as a student, I can very confidently say that AI is slowly crippling our generation. Now, this is knowingly and unknowingly done. Majorly because when you have an easier option at hand, it is a very natural human tendency to go grab it.
Absolutely.
So when you have an AI to write your email, to, you know, draft a message, a WhatsApp message to your friend, which you could have, you know, usually before AI, maybe in 2015, when WhatsApp was just booming, You could easily write a message to your friend without thinking twice. Now you need Meta AI to refine the message, and you're again unsure of it, and then you again put it in ChatGPT, you refine it. So that is the level of dependency that AI has brought, especially in our generation. But then, are we overspending on AI? That is something I disagree on, because in our country, especially in India, AI has been a human multiplier. Now, how you may ask is, one stellar example that I could give is Operation Sindoor. How the use of AI in defense, EACS, electronic analysis, electronic collation and analysis system, Trinetra, it almost had a 94% accuracy on neutralizing the targets. So, despite having a manpower for the hard power in our country, these are the technologies that, on a global scale, it empowers our country in a time of crisis. So, like I think earlier, Mr. Sridhar Vembu and Sai sir was mentioning, we need more AI creators than AI users. And right from the beginning, now as again, both of us are from the CSE background, so we know the difficulty of having to learn linear algebra in a week. So, right from, in the school period, if you learned about the foundational basics of how an AI works, that is going to create a huge, boom in the coming generation. And also to a point where we need people who don't create handwritten digit recognition system or all these fancy projects you see on LinkedIn. We need people who know how these basic systems work in the first place, be it a compiler, be it a LLM like ChatGPT, or as simple as an OS. So we need people who understand it, who have the capability of rebuilding it on their own without, vibe coding. So that is my take on it.
So I guess that is where maybe you feel the real innovation could come from the foundation level, because you can build on stuff relatively easily.
Absolutely. We should know how to, once we know how a thing, like, if you have to drive a car, when you're learning how to drive a car, they teach you how to, balance the accelerator and the clutch. Yeah. So, and this is something my father tells me right when I was learning, driving. Never let the car drive you. You should drive the car. So this is the same thing that comes to ChatGPT also. You shouldn't let AI drive you. Believe whatever it generates, even among engineers as well, whatever code is generated, we often just blindly follow it. We don't know how it works or to rectify it. Yeah. So never let AI or any LLM for that matter drive you. You should be able to drive it. You should be able to take its input. In fact, obviously, it is going to help you ease your work, but never let it drive your mindset.
So now I don't know whether this is a real or if it's one of those memes on Instagram, but they said ChatGPT also had a job opening for someone who can be there to shut it off when AI takes control or AI starts doing things on its own. And it said on the footnote, it said that should also be able to throw a bucket of water on the server. So now I don't know whether that's true or what. One other thing, just to add on to what both of you were saying, I read recently, there are companies, how in today it's become so easy to get a loan. You get a loan for almost everything. And there are debt collection agencies. Some agencies are using AI to sense the tone of the caller. So, if I am the call center person calling up X, if X is wanting to pay, but maybe there's a health problem or they've lost their job, the AI kind of senses it from the tone, looks at their back history and guides the caller that, instead of yelling and saying, hey, paisa kidhar hai, tum kyun nahi de rahe ho paisa, kind of sensitively ask, kuch problem hai sir, aapke ghar mein kya hua? So, again, a different way to use AI there. Vaibhav, you mentioned earlier you're from a farming background, agricultural background. So I want to get your sense. Tell us on the ground, how can smart technology, AI, or even just basically technology, help the relevant stakeholders in the agricultural space? Because let's be honest, that is, again, the base level. We all need food, whether we're having it here in the Taj or we're eating it on the roadside tapri, but we all need food. I want to get your thoughts on this. How can smart farming be used, bringing in technology? What your earlier answer was also about sustainable practices and good quality food. How do you see like a mix of all this coming together?
Well, Sumit, coming from agriculture background, from a farming family, and also as someone who has worked, I have worked on a hackathon project on enhancement of peanut production, which was a part of a national level hackathon. We won award as well. So the fundamental viewpoint through which we see agriculture is not an individual affair. It's a community affair. If you go to any village, you come to my village in Khamarbandi Panchayat in Bokaro district, the whole village, they grow only one type of crop. It's not like that this field is there, they will grow maize, and on this Pakatle they will grow wheat. It's not like that. So
what crop do they grow there?
We only have one crop a year, that is paddy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Go on.
So the issue what we face is, we have scattered land holding. I am a middle farmer, it can be a 20 acres to 50 acre, that range farmer. Our farm fields have scattered. Now, if I have to apply my own project, peanut production by AI and IoT, it won't be feasible because it need a larger space, let's say 100 and 500 acres of land. So how is it possible in India, particularly east part of India, where the land holding is scattered? The answer is, we have to unite people. And what we have got a legal entity as well, FPO, Farmer Produce Organizations. Let me give a small example. You hail from Mumbai. Just down from the Mumbai, we have Vidarbha, where farmer suicides are very common. But I'll give you an example. There is a FPO called Sahyadri. It's working on grape production. It has more than 10,000 farmers. Most of them are marginal farmers associated with it. They're having a stable income and they're generating revenue for themselves. So, if we have to empower the farmers, we need to set up cooperative. Cooperative is the only sector possible. Giving another example of Amul. You see Amul products are selling at very niche places. Gunani sir was also mentioning, you have Amul products selling everywhere to all the variety of products. Who owns Amul? The farmers own that Amul. Until unless we make the farmer the owner of the final end products, you won't get the benefit to the farmers. So DBT and other, we have AIF, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund by Government of India, a commendable job on that. But we have to understand, if you have to set up at an FPO in the village level, if you have to come to my village level, it's not a investment point of view. It's not an enterprise setting. You are changing the behavior. If you come to my village, you have to change the behavior of the crop which we are growing since generations. For that, you need to have a very systematic approach. You need to create change agents. You need to create opinion leaders of the family, of the community, bind them together. And what we do as a part of Live-in Labs. So Live-in Labs is a flagship program by Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. We all have been a part of that, in which we work on a village, identify a problem, create a sustainable solution out of it. So for that purpose, for upliftment of farmers, we need to bring all the major stakeholders, academia, government, and the farmers on a common platform, and then only we can do that. I would like to end. Yeah.
How are we going to use tech there? How is technology helping? Because you gave the beautiful example of Amul, but Amul's been around for decades.
Right.
Of course, things have changed, but the crux, I mean, they started decades ago. Mr. Kurian started it. How do we use tech there? Because you've done this hackathon and you're doing with this project at Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. How do you think tech can be implemented?
Right. So once we have an FPO, we'll be able to pool at least 500, 600 acres of a land in one village. Now we have that sort of land parcel. We can easily apply the network of IoT sensors and AI and whatever we can do right there. Now, if we have tech and we have land, which is land bank, now we can have financing partners as well when we have government at our side. So when we have the financing partners, when we have the tech, sky is our limit, and we can definitely do that. And I would like to conclude this, that a nation can last without high-end tech, but it cannot last without the food and the producers of the food, the very farmers.
Absolutely, 100%. That is for sure. Shreya, I want to take this point ahead. So wherever, say you're pooling in 400, 500 farmers, you're using technology, you're somewhere getting that data together to get financing or whatever. You want to use better fertilizers, or you want to monitor the irrigation systems with an app, whatever the solutions are. Data is the new oil. We've heard that a billion times and everybody says it. But the other side of the coin is data privacy. Because, hey, I do want to give my data so that I can get benefits, but I don't want it to be too intrusive, and I don't want to, some things I don't want to give. Your view on that, how do you think that thin line should be walked? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think that's a very, in today's time, it is very relevant when we have these many different types of artificial intelligence coming up. We obviously, like Vaibhav said again, there's data in a 1.4 billion population that we have in our country. Data is humongous. So, protecting this data, gathering this data, providing digital access to people to have this data, this all comes, that is one side. And then there is the cybersecurity aspect. Now, we can post numbers, we can post, percentages of, okay, we have this much, we've done this much, we have this much number of data, we have 100 subscribers of, over the years. But as basic as a layman term that we say, if I don't trust what I see on my phone, if I don't trust a link that it comes, or an OTP that comes to my phone, then how am I supposed to utilize the maximum out of that device? Now, for an example, we have, all these datas are there. We have different digital public goods. We have UPI, we have Coin. So people now even fear, even if they are educated enough, they fear to link their UPI accounts to their salary accounts.
100%.
Just in the fear that what if accidentally, and I click a link and I lose my money.
Exactly. So, there's this leading telecom player, I don't want to say the name, but the leading telecom player says that their payment bank could be your second bank account. So, your major bank account is safe from this. Exactly your point.
I think in our country, as much as we are investing, like the earlier question, are we overspending on AI? Definitely not, but we should equally spend on cyber security. Because in the upcoming years, we need a very, stellar, we need a robust cybersecurity system, because without that, we are going to face the music. It is going to be a tough walk. And even before that, even if we have we have a lot of cybersecurity awareness going on. Yeah. People keep, there's cybersecurity week, people host different campaigns. But at the end of the day, like now again, Vaibhav said, there are farmers who use these technologies. There are a lot of people who are both educated and uneducated. If they don't trust the system, how are they going to use it? So the first and foremost, we have to gain their trust. Access is one thing. Gaining their trust to use these systems is another thing. So I think as a nation, as youth and government together, we have to take our entire population into confidence to truly achieve this inclusiveness that digital public good offer. And secondly, before, even if we release an app now, I think it is safe to say Sanchar Sathi was...
I was just going to say that.
It's not that there are no initiative from the government. There are initiatives. But people don't trust it enough. The immediate question that comes to people's mind is this, spy app? Or, people started speculating these things. So, when there's no trust from the user side, it is going to pose such thing no matter what you do for it. So, getting attraction for this trust, I think most essential is including the youth in such projects, helping them know what actually goes behind this, what is the intention, what is the functionality of it. So when we know what is happening, what are we signing up for, we obviously will pitch it to others.
Right. Absolutely. But what I also feel is, again, there's a kind of like a thin line, because there are many, and now with social media and everybody is a creator, then some people are there just for actually giving information, building trust, and some are there just for clickbait and saying, don't do this if you do this, watch this video till the end and all of that. It's also about, I think, just making people aware that just don't take things on the face of it, because there used to be a time when my parents WhatsApp pe kuch bhi photo aa gaya and they will send it to me, oh my god, this, and I'm like, no, whatever comes on WhatsApp, doesn't mean that it's true. Even if it's in your friends group or your society group, it doesn't mean it's true. We have to apply that filter. So somewhere there, I think it is more about, just educating it step by step, because it is, as much as I feel even Gen Z, even you guys may be adopting technologies faster, there are some things that it's a learning curve for you guys, and of course the older generation just takes it a little longer to get a hang of new technology. Vishnu, this is also always this tussle between progress and sustainability. We've discussed this earlier yesterday also in some of the sessions. And AI is coming in with another angle to this. And again, I think yesterday only, it was I can't remember which speaker, but somebody did mention about how with AI, with servers using up a lot of water, electricity, natural resources. How do you view this need to balance between progress and sustainability, especially, again, we're in Delhi, we started this talk about the weather outside, the AQI. Want to get your thoughts?
I absolutely agree with the point on the weather and the effects of AI on resources, which is why I want to talk about sustainability a bit before coming to that.
Yeah.
So if you look at the industries and the companies, the processes they follow, so there are two methods you can think of. One is the linear method, where you create something and then at the end there is a waste management. And then there is a circular process that they follow, where the waste material is then reused in order to create the same product again. So in sustainability, we actually think of a term called a circular economy. So I think India should aim at becoming a circular economy, because if you look at the sustainable practices, about 75 to 80% of the companies inculcate sustainable practices, and it has been having a tremendous effect. But if you ask whether it is a circular process, that is still up and coming, because if you look at nations like Japan, Netherlands, they are also coming up with that. And if you took, I want to take up Netherlands, which is aiming at 2050 as a year where they want to make all their processes circular. See, if Netherlands can do it, we can do it before them. 2047, I'm sure we can do it. All that we need to do is just keep emphasizing on the circular processes. And I feel like government is doing a fabulous job on that. They've just started. It's a long way to go. But with a lot of, practices and more, insisting on such practices, I feel they can do that. Coming back to AI, so AI plus sustainability, we in CS, we call something as an NP hard problem. So this is like an unsolvable, but it'll take time to solve sort of a problem. So, if that can be achieved, there's nothing like it. So that is my view on that.
Okay, very important, but I also just would like to add my 2 cents on that, because it's circular economy definitely very much required. But I feel we're also, one of our biggest challenges, while we say demographic dividend and population, that is also a challenge, because it's about how do you educate everybody, so many languages, so many dialects, which is where I'm hoping AI can come help spread the word, spread the knowledge, spread the information faster on that end. We're short of time. I'll come, Shreya, to one question, and then I'll come last question to everybody. Shreya, women in the workforce are not as represented as we would have liked to. From your point of view, if you were leading a company, whichever sector you want to work in, what do you think would be one of the changes that would help, that you feel would ensure more women participation?
I think now I knew that I'm always prepared with this one question about, when it comes to women. But then, since we are out of time, I had a lot of examples for what women have done till now. And that is how much women have done till now in our country, and it's commendable. But I'll take one example. And recently, there's Tina Dabi IAS, who's posted in Barmer. And Barmer is a drought-hit place. She, this is something that we Gen Z call being a girl's girl. Now, she identified that women travel kilometers to fetch water and come, that's a very tenuous job. And she made sure that the very classic textbook answer is what she had. rainwater harvesting. And that solved a place, water starvation. So, this is what I'm saying. Women in power is a huge thing. No,
Right.
they can make wonders. So, when I am in a power of authority, I would love to be a girl's girl. And here right now, as youth, the biggest and the loudest cry from our generation is women's safety. And
Yeah.
we have 88 reports per day. We have these statistics. Everybody knows what is happening. But yet, we have a very, as a society, we are regressed when it comes to women's safety. I still need a curfew. I have to send my live location. I have to carry a pepper spray. So I hope one day, when I am in power of authority, I make sure that women can go at 3 a.m. in the morning to maybe have noodles or just, take midnight cravings without fear, without having to send their live location to their parents.
So have women empower other women. Okay, with the timers up, quick question, last one. We're always talking about startups and having the elevator pitches. So 3 of you, will start with Vaibhav and come down the line. Your elevator pitch to the Prime Minister for one big idea for Viksit Bharat. Quick.
Can I go in English?
Yes, whatever you...
प्रिय प्रधानमंत्री जी, मेरा नाम देव वैभव है और मैं झारखंड के एक छोटे से गांव से आता हूं। मेरा मानना है कि इस दुनिया की जो सबसे बड़ा हथियार है वो टेक्नोलॉजी है, लेकिन मैं चाहता हूं कि टेक्नोलॉजी कुछ लोगों के हाथ में ना रहे बल्कि समाज के सभी वर्गों के हाथ में रहे। चाहे वो एक बड़ा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हो जो अपनी पूरे प्रोसेस को ऑप्टिमाइज करना चाहता हो, या चाहे वो कोई छात्र हो जो मेघालय आसाम के किसी रिमोट लोकेशन से अपनी पढ़ाई करके कुछ ऐप डेवलप करना चाहता है, कोई इनोवेशन करना चाहता हो, या मेरे गांव खमारबंदी में बैठे हुए मेरे कोई काका हो जो कोई नई फसल लगाना चाहते हो और उस एआई से पूछते हो खोठा में कि है गो कहे ना किसे लगाइबो, किसे कमाइबो और किसे बेचबो। थैंक यू।
Wow. Exactly. Fantastic. Shreya.
Well, I'll try to continue with Vaibhav. I come from a defense background. So I move around places and I've seen places, both urban and rural. And this is a privilege for every, transferable dependent or person who keeps transferring every now and then. But then I also come from a computer science background. So what we need in India right now are our own applications. So there are also speculation that, there are a million of computer science graduates on what people call a crowd or a bheed in this sector, and still people are unemployed. But in my opinion, there is so much yet to come in India, our own apps, our own Google Maps, our version of Google Maps, our, apps. So yesterday while traveling back to Faridabad, I saw this ad of Philips Light, which is, hum raaton mein bhi, suraj ugate hain. Which is, we make sunrise even in the night. So, we as engineers, we can say, hum bheedon mein bhi atmanirbharta banate hain. So, we have to be self-sustained and we have to be self-sufficient. We have to be an Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Wow. Fantastic. Vishnu, your last take, your elevator pitch.
So, I just want to start by saying that my parents are doctors, and I've seen that my parents telling me that, sometimes the allopathic medicine is not what is needed. Even an Ayurvedic medicine will do for this medicine, but they scare the patients and they create a lot of worry. So I have a vision that in the future patients would be able to come up, have a holistic, diagnosis. Like that is what the minister also was talking about. So I want that holistic diagnosis to be there. So that influence has to be starting from the education that doctors get. Sometimes instead of focusing on just one stream, focus on the best stream that is there for the patients. And, already India has been like the go-to center for healthcare from all over the world. So with this approach, I'm sure it can be the #1 country.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Vishnu, Shreya, Vaibhav. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for an unfiltered conversation from these 3 students from Amrita, Vishwa, Vidyapeetham. Thank you so much, and back to Ashish.